Hi guys, in this video we're gonna finish setting up the reaction of the zombie when he was hit. That is which is the consequences of the hit on the zombie. So we're gonna finish the get hit function interface function implemented by the zombie class. So first of all, we're gonna use 3 additional animations for the hit reaction for when the zombie is dying, and we're gonna access the content browser in the anime starter pack. We're gonna search for these animations in the search bar. We type death. We're gonna get the death 1 animation, the death 2 animation, and the death 3 animation. So we're gonna randomize between these 3 animations when the health of the zombie is under 0 or equal to 0, the dying state. So I'm gonna close this tab, and I'm gonna select these 3 animations and click on retarget anim assets, duplicate anim assets, and retarget. Target skeleton is gonna be, of course, the UE4 mannequin skeleton located in the mannequin folder, and we click on retarget. Asset duplicated. So content, they were stored directly at the content folder. So we select all 3 of them and we move them to the zombie folder inside the enemies folder. Move here. So now we have our 3 animations at the folder of our first type of enemies. Where are they? Here they are. So back to the zombie class. Here we're gonna keep this print string, and then we're gonna get the health of the zombie from the my blueprint panel, and we're gonna decrease it by the damage taken. So minus float, hook up the hit damage to the other entry, and we set the health with the new value. Next, we're gonna spawn an emitter to do some visual effect for the hit. We're gonna spawn a particle effect. So gonna search for spawn emitter at location. The location is gonna be provided by the hit location of the function, the interface function, and the emitter template. The darkness weapons pack comes with a lot of particle effects for the hit visual effect of the weapons provided in this pack. So I'm gonna search for a particle effect. For now we're gonna use this particle effect. Impact wood, small dark. I'm searching for a good particle effect, an okay one. When I search, it's better to search with the word impact metal. impact stone, impact wood. I'm gonna use the impact wood particle effect. I'm gonna use this one for now. So next what we're gonna do is we're gonna check to see if the health is now under 0 or equal to 0. We're gonna check to see. So we're gonna drag the health and we're gonna check to see if it's superior to 0. A branch here using the B key, and then if it's superior to 0 we're gonna do nothing. If it's not superior to 0, which means it's either equal or inferior to 0, we're gonna go to the death process. So what we should do, we're gonna activate a sound, dying sound for the zombie. For this we're gonna access this website and search for monster groan, I think. So guys, once we downloaded the file from the website, what we should be doing is opening the software Audacity. Audacity is a software which is a free software for sound processing. So you drag the file from its folder to Audacity directly. You have the file opened inside Audacity. I'm gonna play it to see, to show you the sound. We're gonna use this sound for the death of the zombie. So we hit File in Audacity, export as WAV, since you can't use MP3 in Unreal Engine. So we're gonna use the WAV format, and you select the folder where you downloaded the file, and you hit save. It's gonna convert it to the WAV format. Next, what you should be doing, you close Audacity, you access the folder of the WAV file, then you reduce the size of the window, and you create in the content folder of the project, the Unreal project, add import new folder, and you create a new folder named sounds. We open the folder and we drag this file, WAV file, inside the folder, and we close the folder of the file. Back to the engine. So back to the engine, we have now, guys, I'm gonna close the browser. Now guys, we have the file, the sound file. We're gonna rename it inside our project folder. We're gonna rename it to zombie death. So now we should be able to use this sound file. Back to the zombie class, we drag the line out of the false situation, and we search for sound spawn sound at location, this function, and we select our sound asset, which is zombie death. The location is gonna be the location of the zombie actor. So we're gonna drag out of location and get actor location, target self. Now that we spawned our sound at our location, we're gonna activate one of the 3 deaths animation that we retargeted previously. So here I'm gonna type switch int, switch on int, right click in the graph and search for random integer in range. We hook it up to the selection. So depending on the integer provided by this function, this random integer in range function, this function is gonna this node is gonna switch between the different outputs. So for the minimum of random integer in range, I'm gonna keep it 0. For the max, I'm gonna enter a value of 2. So it's gonna randomize between 0 and 2 for the integer. If it's 0, it's gonna be this path is gonna be taken. If it's 1, this one. If it's 2, this path. So here I'm gonna drag the mesh variable to the graph. Play animation. And the animation to play, I'm gonna search for the death animation, the death 1 animation inside our zombie folder. Make sure it is this folder, game enemies zombie. Gonna do a duplication to these 2 nodes and one more time. Hook up the second one to the second output and the third one to the third output. Here it's gonna be the death 2 animation. I just make sure it is the zombie folder to not make an error, and the death 3 animation should be the zombie folder also. So one of these 3 animations is gonna fire depending on the integer provided by the random integer in range function. Next, we're gonna wait 1.7 second. So we're gonna use the delay node for this. 1.7 second. So gonna hook up the 3 animations to the delay node. After having waited 1.7 seconds, we're gonna ragdoll the mesh of the zombie. So right before he hit the ground with one of these 3 animations, we're gonna set the physics of the mesh to we're gonna set simulate physics on this mesh to true, to simulate the physics for the mesh to be ragdolled, for it to be more realistic. So I'm gonna drag the mesh again to the graph and type set simulate physics on. So gonna just show you what it's all about for what we just did. So I'm gonna just pause it to show you the situation. Here it's using the time format frames. I want it to use seconds as a time format. So just right here, well, for this animation we're gonna wait for it to finish to the end. For the second one, yes, we're gonna simulate 1.7. alright, should be here. 1.7 it's too much, should be 0.83. I used 1.7 before and it worked for me. Yes, it's good to use this time, 0.67 seconds. Gonna see the check to see if yes, it's good. 0.67 seconds of waiting since we activated the animations is good. So maybe to make sure, yes, just before when he hits the ground, so 0.83. Gonna check to see if this setting will be good. 83 is good. Yes, 83 is good. So I'm gonna go back to the zombie class and modify this value to 0.83. Next, set simulate physics to ragdoll the mesh. Then we're gonna wait 3 seconds after having ragdolled the mesh before destroying the entire actor, for it to disappear from the level as performance optimization, good practice. So another delay node, and I'm gonna set a value of 3 seconds and then destroy actor. Destroy actor, target self. We compile and we save, and then I should check to see if we already spawned the required sound and emitter at the right places. Alright, yes, it should be okay. I'm gonna comment this logic, this function inside the graph. I'm gonna choose as a comment hit consequences on the zombie. So this function is called inside our base gun when the hit actor is a zombie, is an enemy actor, implementing the hittable interface. So I'm gonna launch the gameplay to see how it looks. Play. I'm gonna go to the first zombie. He dies directly because his health is set to a default value of 0. His health should be set to a default value of 1. And for the gun, I'm gonna set the variable current ammo to 20. as if we have 20 bullets in our clip, just to test this, what we developed so far. So I'm gonna access the guns folder, and I'm gonna open the pistol class. Current ammo, I'm gonna set this value inside the class defaults. I'm gonna set this value to 20. The damage, I'm gonna set this value, the damage per shot, to 0.1. These are variables provided by the parent class, which is base gun. And I'm gonna save everything. Hit play to see. I already fired a bullet there. Just is coming toward me. Hit me. He did this because of the limit of the nav mesh. He's not dying. Should I see why he's doing this? You hit me, alright. Decreasing the health by the damage. Alright. So an emitter at location. First of all, the emitter is not right for this, so I'm gonna use another one to see if we're gonna see something as an effect. I think there is a problem with the location. I understood why it happened this way, because we didn't feed these variables inside the base gun. So the hit damage should be the damage variable of the base gun, and the hit location should be the location of the blocked line, the location of the block in the path of the line generated by the line trace function. So it should be this variable inside the data structure hit result. Now it should work. Let's say he's spawning the particle effect, but in the origins of the coordinates. Now I'm gonna see to check to see. Yes, you hit me. We have a particle effect, which is good at the point of the impact. But we have this problem, which is the falling of the mesh through the floor. Should be resolved very easily in the zombie class, the mesh, and then we go to the collision section. Here the collision enabled is query only. We change it to collision enabled query and physics. Compile, save, play. Back to the zombie. Yes. He's ragdolled. And then he disappears. Back to it again. He's gonna use another animation, this time for the death. Yes, and he's ragdolled. Then he disappears. So guys, I thank you very much for watching this video, and I hope to see you in the next video. Thank you very much.